Okay, so I've got a running session here on the running track, but I was wondering, if you've just started running or you've been giving it a good go, how do you know you're actually getting better or at least becoming less average as a runner? So in this one, I got 5 signs for you that tell you you're getting better at this running thing. My name is Aubrey. I'm a very average runner myself, simply trying to be less average by the day. As at the time of filming this, you guys have given me 5,270 subscribers. Thank you very much. If you're on Instagram, please connect with me. It's Aubrey Running over there. Let's get started with reason number 1. Okay, so the number 1 sign for me, the number 1 metric I track is heart rate. Let me explain it like this with an example. A6 London 10K, 2022 versus 2023. According to my watch, I ran 2022 10K in 1 hour, 2 minutes. In 2023, according to my watch, forget chip time, 48:45, considerably faster, 14 minutes faster. My max heart rate in 2022 for the same was 205. I didn't even know my heart rate could get over 200, but max heart rate 205. In 2023, max heart rate of 194, 11 BPM slower. Now, when you look at those two, you go, well, it's not that much different. That's 11 BPM slower in 2023. It becomes more of a factor though when you compare it that I did that in 48 minutes and 11 BPM slower. That shows you that over time, my heart is becoming more efficient and more effective, actually outperforming 2022 by 11 BPMs whilst giving me a 14-minute faster run. And I want to assure you, whilst the runs that you're doing might feel like you're not really achieving anything, over time, especially when you look at these numbers a year on, months, you start to see your resting heart rate, your max heart rate, average heart rate become much slower as your body adapts and becomes much better at what it's doing. All right, number 2. All right, reason number 2, distance. For new runners especially, you get to a point when you started running, you run for 2 minutes and you have to stop and start walking, a run walk. And that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what you need to do. Before you know it, you're actually measuring your runs in distance that you can then do 1K without having to stop, 2K. Eventually that becomes 5K. Running 5K and not needing to stop to walk is a very big milestone. I don't know who decided on 5K. I'm just using it as an example. That 5K then becomes 10K. Over time, if you remain faithful to running, that becomes a half marathon. You never know, maybe even a marathon. I've never ran a marathon. It's an example I want to give. And that kind of shows you that I'm not an elite runner at all. I'm just trying myself. All right. Number 3 is speed. It goes without saying, the same run that you used to do, say for example, 5K, for me, used to take me 40 minutes. I can now do 5K in 23 minutes. Eventually you get faster dealing with the same distance. Now, for the purposes of this video, I don't really care about that. I'd rather talk to you about how. There are 2 things you need to do. 1, mixing up your running sessions. It's not just about going running and therefore you get faster, but being intentional about the kind of running formats that you do. Focusing on interval work, speed sessions will get you there. But actually, the second thing is the opposite. Slow and easy running will get you there. There's a concept called zone 2 running. Zone 2 running makes very serious physiological adaptations to your body. I'm going to have a separate video on this, but for now, just look into it. And the concept is run slow to learn how to run faster. Okay, so number 4, you run and you actually love it. If you're like me, whether that's in PE or you grew up playing sports like football, soccer, American football, whatever it is, basketball, if you did something wrong, the punishment was running laps. In PE, you were made to run as punishment. You therefore grow up with running having this negative connection and you have this negative association, which means running is not something you would do for enjoyment. But when you take up running and become a runner, you start noticing that you actually enjoy it. Now, there are words like the runner's high, or it's a burst of hormones that come out because you've been out running, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's just a simple passion and love for running. You find yourself paying money to go to a running event. You find yourself wanting to just understand about the craft of the sport of running. It's something that just consumes you and you actually enjoy it. Now, don't get me wrong, at the start, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like your heart's about to come out of your mouth. It feels like you're punishing yourself. But I want to assure you, as you go, one way of telling yourself or letting yourself know you're getting better, or at least less average, is when you start looking forward to that time. When you start celebrating the fact that actually you've stuck with it. There is a passion and a love you get for running that surely must mean that you love this sport that you've started. Let's end it with number 5, and I'm going to keep this one lighthearted. Okay, so number 5, and I wish I was joking about this one. Yes, it's lighthearted, but it's dead serious at the same time. The things you buy. When you get into running and you really enjoy it, you discover you can't just do with one pair of shoes. You need one for the easy runs. Obviously, a different one for a steady run, a different one for tempos, race day, your speed sessions. Obviously, you might want to get into trails. You need a trail running shoe. Oh, wait, race day, I need singlet. I can't just be going in a standard t-shirt. Oh yeah, I need running socks, because ordinary socks that normal people wear won't cut it. I wish I could tell you how many pairs of running shoes I have, but frankly, even I don't know. When you enjoy running and you get better at it, you find yourself collecting things that are to do with running, whether that is books, running gear. Nutrition looks very different because suddenly you need electrolytes. Oh no, forget getting nutrients from normal food like normal people do. What do you mean I should put in salt in my food? No, I want a high five. I want a carb gel. No, I don't want to eat normally. Now, don't get me wrong. All of the things I have said have their places. For example, porridge is perfect, but you can't have porridge midway through a half marathon. Hence the gel, the convenience of it. But as you get into running, you will be shocked at how many things you start to need. I thought I would end it on a lighthearted one. Thank you very much. If you found this entertaining, informative, educational, whatever you want to call it, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. I'm trying to grow the community. And thank you again for checking this out.